Welcome to God's story. It's about people who lived long ago, thousands of years ago, and it's about people who live today. This story's about you, because we all have a part in God's story. Most of all, God's story is about Jesus. Jesus was there at the beginning, and he's with us right now. Jesus is the one who makes a way for us to be close to God forever and ever and ever. Stay tuned to hear how Jesus is the Savior of the whole world and how he can be your Savior too.
Come on, I don't know why I even watch this. It makes my nerves go crazy.
Bottom of the ninth. The count is loaded. The bases are loaded. This is the only shot. Let's go!
Oh my gosh, that's going! That's going! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Come on! This is why I watch what I watch.
When Jesus was alive on earth, he went around teaching all the people who would listen about God's love and his word. One day, he said to his disciples, "Let us go over to the other side of the lake." You see, Jesus had been teaching to large crowds all around the Sea of Galilee, and it was time to take a break. So they left the crowds behind and all got into the boat and set off to the other side of the sea. Now Jesus had been speaking and helping people all day, so as they sailed, he quickly fell asleep. It started out as a beautiful evening. There was a light breeze blowing and the boat was calmly crossing the sea. But when they were about halfway across the lake, a furious storm suddenly came upon them. It was so strong that the waves swept over the boat. Whirling winds surrounded them, fierce and strong like a hurricane. Blinding flashes of lightning lit up the sky, and the thunder roared in the sky above them. The boat was being blown and buffeted and tossed and turned all around. It was going up and down to the left and right and round and round. And in the middle of this huge and scary storm, Jesus was sleeping. Now, a lot of Jesus' disciples were fishermen and had been for their whole lives. This means they had surely been through big storms before, but they had never seen one quite like this. No matter what they did to control their boat, this storm was too big for them. But you know who the storm was not too big for? Jesus. And he still slept through it. The disciples couldn't believe Jesus was asleep. They screamed over the sound of the wind, "Lord, save us, we're going to drown, don't you care?" Then Jesus got up. He didn't panic, he didn't yell, he didn't even seem scared. Instead, he spoke calmly to the storm, saying, "Quiet, be still." And then the strangest thing happened. That huge storm that was rocking the boat everywhere with its crashing waves and strong winds stopped. It completely stopped. It was as if the wind and the waves heard Jesus' voice. Because, of course, they had heard his voice before. It was God's voice, the same voice that spoke them into the world in the very beginning. The wind and the waves listened to Jesus, and they did what he said. When Jesus spoke, immediately the wind stopped. The water calmed, and the boat bobbed on the water as if nothing had happened. There was a stillness over the sea as Jesus turned toward his friends. He looked at them and said, "Why are you so scared? Did you forget who I am? Did you believe your fears instead of me?" Jesus' friends looked at him and they were quiet. Because of the power he had shown, they were feeling a little afraid. They turned to each other and said, "Who is this man that even the winds and waves listen to him?" They said this because they didn't understand. They didn't realize just yet that Jesus was the Son of God. They were so afraid when they saw those big waves. They had forgotten that Jesus was with them, and they had nothing to be afraid of. No matter how small their boat was or how big the storm was, they were safe with Jesus. They could always trust that Jesus was going to keep them safe.
You're powerful. You're unshakable. You're powerful. You're unshakable. make me whole again. Your nature, unchanging, all fails, but you remain. You're powerful, you're unshakable. You're powerful, you're unshakable. You're powerful, you're powerful, you're powerful, you're powerful.
The disciples got to spend time with Jesus, and they had seen him do many amazing things. He taught about God's love in a way that they had never heard before. He also healed people who were sick. But even after all of that, the disciples didn't trust that Jesus would be able to save them from a storm. And maybe we've done this very same thing. We all know the truths about Jesus. We know that he performed miracles and great teachings, and we know how he died on the cross and rose again, defeating death forever. We know he did that for us. Because of this, we get to be close to Jesus every day too. But just like the disciples, we may not always trust that Jesus is there. The truth is, Jesus is always there for us. He's there on the good days and on the bad days. When we're sad or scared or feeling alone, we can always trust that Jesus is right there with us, helping us when we need it. We can trust that Jesus is with us all the time, no matter what.
When the disciples and Jesus were on the boat with this huge storm, all Jesus had to do to make it stop was to tell the storm, "Quiet, be still." The wind and waves listened to him and followed what he said. Now it's your guys' turn. Listen to the music, dance along, and when it stops, you stop. Don't move a muscle when the music isn't playing. If you move while it plays, you're out. See how long you guys can stay in. Ready, go!
I've been moving in a new direction. Don't you know that something's gonna change? I've been infected by God's injection. Now I don't say the things I used to say. Now I'm changed. I'm not the same. And now I'm moving in God's direction, and I feel good about that. Makes me wanna jump up, spin around, get up, get down. Don't you know I do it night and day? I said I jump up, spin around, get up, get down. Oh yeah.
Did you know that scientists don't really know the reason that we have to sleep? They know we need to eat to give our bodies energy and to help us grow, and they know we need to drink water to help us when we eat and give us good nutrients and get rid of the bad things in us. But they don't know a specific reason for sleep. Some scientists think the main thing sleep does is to help our brains. When we sleep, this gives our brains time to rest from all the things it was doing during the day. Since we have to use our brain every single moment when we are awake, it makes sense that it needs some time to rest and recharge. When we're sleeping, the brain is working to grow more, recharge, and get ready for the next day, which means sleep is very important. Sleep is something we need. Jesus must have known how important sleep was since he fell asleep right when he got on the boat with the disciples. He knew it was important to get the rest he needed, just like he knows how important it is for us to trust him. God made us each in special ways, but there are some things we all have in common. One of those things being sleep, and of course, Jesus.
I don't know why I do that to my nerves every single time.
We did it, man.
Hey guys, is the game over?
Yeah, the game's over. You kind of were asleep during the best part, so.
Oh, well, what did I miss?
What did you, Jordan, Tell her.
How about the most unlikely thing ever to happen? Like the biggest moment in baseball history.
And you were asleep during it.
I guess I was just really tired. And I know Jesus can relate to that.